Alright, so in this video, I just wanted to showcase some alternative ways that I can get into a computer that's added to my list other than the standard way. So the standard way is I'm just logged into ISL Lite, I'm in the Computers tab, I click on the computer, I enter the password, I hit enter, and then I'm connected to the remote machine. It's a pretty straightforward process, but that doesn't necessarily meet everyone else's criteria. So one of the main factors we hear often is, hey, my customer doesn't want to be able to just log in and start doing things without a heads up. So here we are with some additional settings, and I hope that makes ISL available to just about anyone. So let's get onto the actual remote computer side. I think that'd be a bit better, a little bit more clarity. And here we are in the ISL Always On settings. These can be found in the system tray, settings, and we're going to go under desktop sharing. So the very first thing you're going to be able to see is show notification of an incoming connection. Pretty self-explanatory. Once the password is entered and we click connect, the remote side will reveal a little notification that somebody would like to access the computer. And here we can set a number of seconds before timeout. So here it says 10, but we can of course change that to 15 or 30 or whatever suits us best. Now we get to toggle whether or not we would like to allow the local user to accept or reject the connection. Do you want them to be able to say, hey, no, go away, I'm doing something right now? Or do we just want to let them know that we're coming in? So let's go with yes, and then this is going to unlock the ability to choose what is the default behavior once you connect to the computer and the client side hasn't clicked allow or reject. Let's just go with allow being the default setting. Another pretty cool option that we have to offer is to just kind of nullify all of that if the remote computer is in a logged out state, but we'll get to that in a minute. For the time being, let's just leave that on and we'll be right on our way. So I've moved back to the operator side, and now I'm going to click on the computer, enter the password, click connect, and as you can see, I'm waiting for the remote user to grant a connection. And on the other side, we're getting that notification too. So once they click allow, we are then connected to the remote computer. Alright, so let me just close this up, and let's say on the other hand, I've locked that computer, which I've just done right now. Let's see what happens when I go to access the computer. As you can see, the connection just goes right on through. Now another thing I'd like to show you in regards to consent and security is the fact that you don't actually need to know the local side's always on password. Because if I navigate to the ISL Online manuals, and I go to remote access, ISL always on, authentication, notification, local consent, down in the middle of this page is a command line that I'd be able to fill out with the credentials necessary to be able to establish the connection without having to provide the password. Instead, this is going to rely on my ISL Online username, my ISLonline.com password, my computer description or computer name, and we even allow a consent message. As you can see, there's also an option, allow computer access without an access password. That needs to be toggled on the remote side settings, which in our case, it is, but it is not by default. So once I've filled that command line out, I should have something that looks like this. And then when I hit enter, we'll see everything going through. Meanwhile, on the other hand, as you can see here, I have received a message asking me to allow or reject the connection. So I click allow and we are in again. Alright, the very last thing I'd like to show you before we end this is also in the desktop sharing menu, and it's the ability to require an email authorization for incoming connections. This step acts like a 2FA for the machine itself as opposed to our ISL Online accounts, so if I press that, I can enter an email address. And like with the notification setting, I can even define the timeout as to how many seconds before the request is no longer valid and expires. I think 200 seconds is fine. So once I click save and I'm back over to my operator side computer, and I click on the machine and do my usual hit enter connect, I'm going to see a connection waiting for email approval along with the expiry timeout. So I'm not going to be able to connect until I open the email, click check request, and then allow session. Only then am I able to connect to the remote computer. Alright, I hope that clarifies some things up for you. Remember, these settings can also be deployed via registry keys. Check out that video, and if you need anything, our live chat is on our website. Just come say hi.